Welcome back to the Chaos and Carry-Ons podcast. I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Shelby. And this is our final episode of the Summer of Chit Chat series.
Chaos and carry-ons, let's go. Disney dreams in tow, you know. Every flight and every ride. Join the journey, come inside.
We've had such a fun time hanging out with everyone this summer, from the lighthearted conversations to the surprisingly deep dives into life, memories, and all the in-between moments.
And today we're rounding it all out with a little reflection, a whole lot of laughs, and of course, there's going to be some chaos.
So grab your iced coffee, lemonade, or whatever summer drink you've got left in the fridge, and let's chit-chat one last time this season.
Let's kick this off with a summer rewind. So tell me, what was the highlight of your summer?
I hate saying this, but even the girls keep saying, like, it doesn't feel like there was really like a highlight, and I think it's because they wanted to go to the beach so bad. They feel like we didn't go anywhere on vacation, and we always go to Florida in the summertime.
Yeah.
I think the highlight was staying home, though. I'm going to say that.
Really?
I think so. Because to me, it was like it was Sophia's last summer at home, and she spent a lot of time at home.
Yeah. Okay, I get that.
Yeah.
Well, that's funny that you say that because my answer is the exact opposite. My highlight of my summer was being able to travel. We spent more time this summer out other places than we have at home. Like collectively, I think that I've been gone more times than I've been at home. No joke. And that was amazing. But last summer, I literally spent my entire summer recouping from chemo and surgery. So this summer was it was great. I loved it. So the highlight of my summer was traveling.
Okay, now let's move on to some deeper summer questions, because our previous episode, we just did some this and that summer fun questions. So what's one thing that you learned about yourself this summer?
I don't think I really learned this new about me, but I forgot because of last year. I love being busy. I do not like sitting around. Now, don't get me wrong. I love a lazy day every now and then where you literally don't get out of your pajamas the entire day. I love that. Mm-hmm. But I think I had so many of those last year and even earlier this year that I forgot how much I love being busy. Like, I have literally left my house every day, I don't know, for forever. And I forgot how much I loved that. That sounds stupid. And it wasn't really learning something new about myself. I just forgot it, I guess.
You relearned it. I was going to say, I don't know how you forgot.
I know.
You were always gone.
I am. But so what about you? Did you learn anything new?
I would say that I did a lot of, I don't know if you want to call it self-work, self-reflection this summer. I started working on some of my anxiety. I'm going to put it that way.
Yeah,
I was trying to work on, you don't want to say chill out. I'll just leave it at that. I was working on my anxiety a lot this summer. And I was surprised that an old dog can learn new tricks. I'm just a very anxious person. And if people are listening to this and that you've struggled with anxiety like your entire life and you're thinking like, this is just it, this is how I'm going to live, I'm here to tell you that there is hope because I've made like huge strides.
You really have. And that's actually, I mentioned that before we even started recording, but I've joked the entire time that if Stephanie changes as a person, I'm scared that she's going to do so much self-work that she's not going to be her anymore. But I don't know. No. I don't know what we're going to do with this new improved Stephanie.
That's not true. I'll still be at the core. It's still chaotic. It's just a little less chaotic. I just couldn't do it anymore. I was always just like Panic Monkey was driving the bus for the last, what do you want to say, 4 years?
Yeah. 4 years? Who are you kidding? Like the entire length of our friendship.
Well, the Panic Monkey is getting old and tired, and he really just needs to chill.
That's funny. So what's a summer moment that you didn't expect this year, but you're glad happened?
I think that really, and it's going to sound funny, but I didn't expect that we were still going to be cleaning out my grandmother's house when the summer, well, I guess technically it was spring when we went up the first time, but still I was thinking that they were going to have it done and we went back, and I was glad that we went back the second time.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was like we got to see it through. Like I saw the house empty. And you would think that that would be sad, and it was. But I don't know. There was just like something about it. You know what I mean? Like starting a project and finishing it.
Yeah.
Kind of felt like you got to like check it off the list.
Yes. You're talking to the type A list maker. Like, I will add things to my list that are already done just so I can check them off, because there's something satisfying about that. So I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. This one for me was watching Taylor snorkel at Castaway Cay in the Bahamas. I didn't expect this because we talked in a few episodes ago. We didn't know that we were going to do that second cruise in July. We were planning to do the Disney parks. We ended up doing the cruise instead. And between the cruise that I took with my mom a month earlier and then this cruise, Taylor's swimming skills improved drastically, probably because we're going on all these vacations and trips to the pool and she's getting to practice.
Right.
But her swimming skills improved so much. So we didn't think that she would get to go snorkeling for a couple more years at Castaway. I don't know why I thought that, but Jordan taught her how to use the snorkel, and we did that with her for probably 2 hours. We got to see stingrays and tons of fish, and she loved it and still talks about it. Like that, I know that is going in her core memories. As an adult, she's going to look back and she's going to remember that. And that was very unexpected, but I'm so thankful for those memories. Like that, that's why we do what we do.
I actually was looking at the pictures that we have of us in Hawaii. Remember, she learned how to swim in Hawaii.
She did, yes.
And I was thinking that was a really neat memory. Remember, we worked the whole entire week to get that girl to take off those floaties. And it was like last day.
It was, I think it was the day, maybe 2 days before we flew home. But she did. And she will tell people that. I learned to swim in Hawaii. So I think that's cool. What a flex.
It was hilarious because I remember Jordan was like over here. Like, remember, she just, all of a sudden, she just took it off and she just started swimming. It was really funny. So if your summer had a theme song, what would it be? And this is a question that we asked to some of our guests, but I don't think we actually answered this question.
Hold on, I'm going to play it in the mic. I love that song. And nothing says summer vacation like National Lampoon. So what is your theme song? What did you say? You said it earlier, but I forgot what you said.
I said it's that song, and we'll never be royals. I'm going to change it to that one song that's like, I think it's called like All Night by the Vamps, and it's like, I've been up all night with no sleep.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, that's mine, because I've been up with these kids. There's just something to say about having a teenager and a 4-year-old. Like it's like we're going to bed. Like one of us is going to bed at midnight because she's like got friends over or waiting on her to come home, and then she wants to talk, and then we got one that wakes up at 4:30 and 5:30. That is the only thing that I do not like about summer, is that Mateo thinks he needs to get up with the chickens.
Do you have blackout curtains in his room?
Well, that's another thing. That kid keeps coming into our room in the morning, and then he's like, but he's just like ready for the day. But yes, he has blackouts. We have blackouts. Everyone has blackouts. It does not matter. Derek's like, he just senses.
Taylor was like that. This is the first summer that she has slept past 7 o'clock every single day. And the last probably 2 weeks, she slept past 8. And anybody that knows that kid knows that she does not ever sleep past 8 o'clock. I mean, it was monumental when she started sleeping past 6. So maybe it's just as they get older, they sleep later. I don't know. We also have thrown out every routine that we are a very routine oriented family, and we've thrown them all out this summer. So maybe that's it too, because she's staying up till 10:30, 11 o'clock, where she was going to bed at 8.
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe, but there is hope though. So is there something that you meant to do this summer and didn't get around to?
The only thing that I can really think of is taking Mateo to the library for like story time in the puppet show. I meant to do that this summer and I haven't got around to it.
Well, I meant to start school. As everybody knows probably by now, Taylor is homeschooled. And our summer vacation started on April the 10th. That was our last day of school. And we're recording this late July. And so we almost have had a 4-month summer, which is insane. And I never, ever meant for that to happen. But that's the beauty of homeschool is you can do things like this and we'll catch up. We'll double lessons or whatever and catch up. But I meant to start school by now and we just keep going on vacation. But I am craving the routine though that school brings, the, you know, getting up at the same time every day, going to bed at the same time every night. I miss routine, which like I just said, we're routine people. I miss that, but I'm not ready for it yet. Maybe next week.
Yeah, I miss it too. I miss the knowing what's going to happen next and not just whatever we feel like doing, honestly. And that sounds so weird.
I get that. I get it.
I do miss that. So the best question that we thought that we asked everyone on the Summer of Chit Chat was, what's a travel mishap that turned into a happy memory? But again, we did not answer that. So we're going to use that as one of our last real questions. Like,
so we
questions.
had, let me think back to all of our guests. Hillary had appendicitis on the side of the interstate with her newborn and her toddler. Brianna, her husband fell through that cabin attic and the family photos. Then the car got wrecked. Grace, what was Grace's?
She forgot her little boy's sleep sack and she was trying to Amazon Prime.
Who else have we had on? Michelle's was
Michelle had
the
snowstorm
snowpocalypse that gave us all anxiety for the rest of our lives. And then Kiki's was the cruise. She forgot her driver's license and slides a Sam's Club card across the counter, hoping that they wouldn't notice. I was trying to think, like, I don't have anything as good as those. I felt like all of mine pale in comparison to that. And I even had Jordan, okay, so the first thing that came to my mind was the blizzard in Colorado when I flew out for Shayna's wedding. I've already told that one on the podcast, so I'm not going to reuse that. But the next one that came to mind, so if you're listening to this and you've listened to many episodes at all, you know that Jordan is a very picky eater. We joke about him ordering the chicken tenders and fries everywhere he goes. So when we got married, my favorite restaurant was Olive Garden. It still is one of my favorites. There's just something about Olive Garden. No, I don't think it's like real Italian food, but it's just, there's something about it, okay? Jordan hated Olive Garden. Hated it with a passion. So much so that my birthday would roll around and he would say, I'll take you anywhere you want to go except Olive Garden. And that's my favorite. And that's where I wanted to eat, was Olive Garden. So I wouldn't get to go on my birthday. All that to say, we flew to Puerto Rico for a cruise in 2017. We'd been married. It was our 3rd anniversary. We're flying to Puerto Rico and we get there a couple days before the cruise. So we're piddle-putting around Puerto Rico. Well, we didn't have a rental car and we didn't have like transportation. This was, I mean, Uber was a thing, but it was still very new and it was scary to do that in another country, you know, all the things. So we just were looking around, finding what was within walking distance of our hotel. So we didn't have to branch out. And what do you know? There's an Olive Garden next door. That's the only restaurant to where we're staying within walking distance. So we go. And they hand us Spanish menus, and when we say thank you, they realize like, oh, you need English menus. So they give us, the menu was the same. I mean, it was just like here. So I convinced him to get like grilled chicken Alfredo. I thought that's a pretty safe bet. You know, you could eat grilled chicken Alfredo. And he loved it. He loved it. And so after that, now it's a joke. Every time we go on vacation, we have to eat Olive Garden. But that's why. So now on my birthday, I actually get to go to Olive Garden because he likes it now.
That's so funny. Yeah, that's so funny. Because it's really true. Shelby will call me and be like, guess where we are? And it's like Olive Garden. And
But you're the one that ate it in California. I didn't. I was at Cheesecake Factory. You had Olive Garden. Hawaii. Yes, that's what I meant.
Yeah. So this travel mishap for us that turned into a happy memory, I've had so many, and I'm like you. I've told so many on the podcast. Like we talked about how that we missed our flight, our connection, coming home from Hawaii and Chicago, and we brought home somebody else's suitcase. I hugged the black guy at the airport when we were going to get Mateo. I mean, there's a host of things that's happened, but I don't think I've ever told this one, and I don't know if Shelby knows this story. She might because she's been around for a while, but you can tell me when I start to tell it if you've heard this before. So when me and Derek were not married that long at all, he was between jobs. He was going to be off for 2 weeks. And so we had went up to see my parents in Indiana. We were going to stay there 2 weeks, and then we were going to come back, and he was going to start his job. Well, I started getting like really, really sick with like a stomach virus, and I was bad sick. And it was like as the days were going on, I was getting worse instead of better. I went to this like an urgent care, and the doctor says, I think you might be pregnant. And I'm like, pregnant? And he's like, yeah. And he takes this stethoscope and he listens to my stomach. He's like, I'll be back. And Derek, when he leaves, Derek goes, this guy is an idiot. Like, what in the world is wrong with this man? He comes back in the room and he's like, I really think you're pregnant, but I don't want to give you a test here because it seems like you're not like accepting it. And I'm just looking at him like, what? And I told him, I was like, well, I need something because like, I need to go home because my husband like is going to be starting this job. Like, and I'm thinking like, how in the world am I going to get in this car and go home? Like as sick as I am. And I was dehydrated. I needed like an IV. He's like, go home and take a pregnancy test and then you can come back, which is absurd. So I'm calling my mom and I'm like telling her the story. And she's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, that's what he told me. And she's like, okay, well, I'm just going to go and buy a pregnancy test and you can take it and then you can go back and get an IV. And I'm like, sure, fine. We go back to my mom's house. I take the test. My mom comes in there and she's like, did you take it? And I'm like, yeah, it's in there on the counter. She screams, it's positive. Derek comes running in there. And I remember we're all three, we're staring at each other. And I'm like, okay, so I'm not going to get better.
Oh,
like I look at my mom. Then it's like, realization is like setting in, like I'm pregnant and this is like morning sickness. How pregnant am I? And I was like 6 or 7 weeks pregnant, and that is how I found out that I was pregnant with Sophia.
If you've ever told me this, I forgot. I have no memory of this story.
I probably haven't because it happened so long ago. But yes, that is how I found out that I was pregnant with Sophia. So then we quickly realized I'm not going to get better and I need to go home. And we get in the car and the next day and go home, and I had like a trash bag. I remember like Derek was eating Arby's and I'm like just like gagging, like it was just like the smell of it. So yes, like I didn't find out that I was pregnant with Sophia and I was like 6 or 7 weeks along. We laugh because the doctor was so like, he was still so weird about it. Like the way that he like put that stethoscope on my stomach, like what in the world was that about? Like I still don't understand that.
A fetal heartbeat with a stethoscope?
I would not think so at 6 or 7 weeks. So I don't know what in the world that was. I mean, the guy was right.
I don't think that you can even later, or they wouldn't use that Doppler.
I have no idea.
Well,
but it was just the way that my mom screamed. That like I said, my mom was standing right there. I'm just taking this test with her. Like I'm just like thinking, yeah, like okay, yeah, we're gonna take it. It's gonna be negative, and then I'm gonna go to the back and they'll finally give me fluids because this man was doing I don't know what and wouldn't give me what I needed.
What a story.
That is the story.
That is so crazy.
And what's so funny too is like I even called my mother-in-law. I even called one of my friends and was like telling them this story because that's how much I did not think that I was pregnant. So people found out when I immediately found out because I had called all of these people because they knew that I was sick and that I was trying to get home. And then I was like, yeah, I went to the urgent care. They thought I was pregnant, but like it was like weird, like it was weird. I'm going to go home and take a test. Well, imagine their surprise when I called back and I'm like, I'm pregnant.
Oh my goodness. Well, your story really does end happily, or however, I don't remember how I worded that question. Mine ends in Olive Garden and yours ends with Sophia.
I couldn't remember telling you that.
I wish I would have known that's what you were going to say, and I would have changed mine because the way I found out that I was pregnant with Taylor, not in the same way, but I was also out of town and getting really sick and didn't know why. But I think I told that story
Yeah.
on Mother's Day because I found out on Mother's Day. But
I think you did.
But that was my happy little chaos too. Sorry, Taylor. Future Taylor, if you're listening to this. I don't love Olive Garden more than you.
Well, I threw up with Sophia until the day, like even after she was born. I was so sick with her. It was awful. That was just a little glimpse into the future.
Well, that's how I was too for 39 weeks in a row.
Yeah. Not fun at all.
Okay, so before we close out, we're going to have to go out with a bang, and we did rapid fire for everybody else. So let's do rapid fire for us. You know the drill. If you want to explain, you can, but you don't have to.
Okay, let's do it.
Sunscreen or hat?
I'm going to say hat.
Me too. Travel with friends or travel with family?
I'm going to say travel with friends.
I'm going to say travel with friends,
sorry,
but my family is going to be so mad.
Okay, tourist spots or hidden gem?
Hidden gem.
I'm going to say tourist spots. Sunrise hike or a sunset cruise?
Sunrise hike.
I'm going to say sunset cruise. Tropical fruits or street food?
Tropical fruits.
I'm gonna say tropical
Unless
fruits.
it's that coconut from Hawaii, which tasted like butt water. It was horrible.
It was awful.
Europe or Asia?
I'm going to say
I
Europe.
also am going to say Europe, but I really want to go to both. So, no offense, Asia,
Yeah.
but I would rather go to Europe first. Hot weather or mild breeze?
I'm going to say hot weather.
I'm going mild breeze.
Favorite summer movie?
Parent Trap.
Oh, that's a good one. I'm going to say It Takes Two.
Oh, I love that movie too. We have watched both of those multiple times this summer. I love both of those. Are we going to do the flip-flop? Okay. Flip-flop fail or sunburn drama?
I'm going to say flip-flop fail.
Same.
And I've had one before.
I've had sunburn drama too, and I would choose flip-flop over sunburn.
Okay, so one word to describe your summer.
Oh my Lord. Refreshing.
I'm going to say sick. Because do you remember we spent the first 3 weeks of their stupid summer terribly sick?
Yeah, you did. You had a really crummy summer.
Oh, we really did.
I'm so sorry.
It was, to me, it was good because it was at home, but
Yeah.
the girls didn't really enjoy that.
Well, we're going to make up for your crummy summer next year, and
It's true.
I'm going to be wishing my summer next year looked more like this summer in all the places that we're going, but we're going to make up for it with our very big kickoff summer vacation.
We are. I was actually thinking about that we may not be able to have a summer of chit chat because we're going to be gone for a long time in this next summer.
We are, and when we finally tell where we're going, there are going to be so many podcast episodes. The series after this trip is going to be forever. So I don't know. The summer of Chit Chat was fun. We got a lot of really good feedback out of it. Our downloads have quadrupled since summer of Chit Chat. So I don't know if it's just because our podcast is getting out there more or if people just liked hearing other people come on. I don't know. So maybe we hold off on our vacation posting as far as the podcast episodes until September next year, and we still do summer of Chit Chat. I don't know. I had so much fun talking to everybody. I think everybody enjoyed it as much as we did, just based on the numbers.
Yeah, see, Shelby also had growth this summer because she doesn't like talking to anyone. She said I was the one that was changing. And here she's over here.
No. Mm-mm. Pot, meat, kettle. Do not. You're not throwing me under this bus alone. No, ma'am.
It is true. I like the idea of talking to people, and it's fine usually when I am talking to people. It's just when I have to talk to a lot of people for several days in a row. That's too taxing for me.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel like sometimes when you talk to people, you have to be careful what you say because you don't want them to be like, oh, that's how she really is? That's me all the time. You're censoring yourself.
But you know what's funny? We literally lay it out there on this podcast for everybody to hear. but then we're worried about what people think of us. Hello.
The podcast goes like into like la la fantasy land, in my opinion. So it's like
It
it's
feels
almost,
different because you can't see us and we can't see you. So it feels
Yeah.
like we're talking to each other, but there are thousands of people listening to this. But yet we care what G.I. Joe at church on Sunday is going to say or think.
yes, it's so true. It's so true. But I can't believe we're at the summer or at the end of the summer of Chit Chat. It really like went by quick.
It really did. But we just want to thank everybody for tuning in, hanging out with us, and letting us be a tiny part of your summer.
Some of you probably listened on your morning walk. You listened while your kids were at the pool. Maybe you listened on a road trip. I had a few people that told me that they did. But we are so, so grateful that we got to spend the season with you. It really felt like we got to know people because like I had people kind of like DMing me and being like, I heard this and I was laughing. It was a lot of fun.
And you can leave comments. I think it's Spotify, maybe Apple too. I'm not sure. I know Spotify, you can leave comments on the podcast. But, I mean, we're on all the social platforms. So we like hearing from y'all. Even if you don't want to be a guest, reach out and tell us like when you think something's funny or whatever. We like hearing from y'all because then it makes it feel like less like we are just talking to each other and nobody else. But we'll be back soon with new episodes, new topics, and of course, the same unfiltered conversations that you know and love. Lots of chaos.
Lots. So until then, soak up the last bits of sunshine. Be kind to yourself. I'm going to say calm down a little bit.
Yeah.
Don't take everything so serious. But I think that's going to wrap it up.
May your flights be on time and your luggage never lost, but if it's not, that's where the fun begins. Bye.
Bye.
Pack your dreams, grab your bag. Adventures call at Sig and Zag. From castles tall to ocean waves, magic made for wanderers brave. Theme parks light up the night, starry-eyed in sheer delight. Board the ships that sail and see, endless tales and fantasy. Chaos and carry-ons, let's go. Disney dreams in tow, you know. Every flight and every ride, join the journey, come inside. From Mickey ears to Dole Whip tree, pixie dust beneath our feet. Through the lands and sea we roam, feel the wonder, feel at home. From rope drop to the fireworks show, lose yourself in the joyful glow. Cruising waters, feeling free, every twist's a memory. Chaos and carry-ons, let's go. Disney dreams in tow, you know. Every flight and every ride, join the journey, come inside. Inside.